business news. Let's now turn to education, as stakeholders in the education sector at a Media General Forum on a review of 1 year of the free senior high school policy have expressed mixed reactions over its implementation. The policy is to ensure that students who qualify for senior high education are not burdened with financial difficulties.
In the run-up to the 2016 general elections, flag bearers of the various parties had several campaign promises. One that caught the attention of many was the MPP candidate's free senior high school policy. In fact, many have argued that the party rode on the back of that to win the elections. On September 12, 2017, the country began implementation of the free senior high school policy with 647 public schools. The policy, which aims at equalizing access to senior high school education, was built to cost government some 480 million cedis in its first academic year. A cost which critics of the program say could have been significantly reduced if government had instituted a means testing system to target students who actually needed the assistance. The policy was met with several challenges such as congestion due to inadequate accommodation, lack of infrastructure, delays in provision of academic materials and foodstuff. In all these challenges, most heads of schools have remained silent for fear of dismissal and transfers. It has been 1 year since the policy began. The double-track system was introduced this year as part of stopgap measures of the numerous challenges encountered with the policy. Media General Group on Tuesday took a critical look at the policy from the perspectives of key stakeholders, including teachers, students, parents and policymakers, with a view to ascertaining the extent to which the policy has delivered on its set objectives and its impact on the quality of education of its intended beneficiaries. Pro-Vice-Chancellor of the University of Cape Coast, Professor George Toku Odro, said government has been unfair to parents whose wards are day students under the free senior high school policy.
For me, it is unfair that both students in boarding and those in day schools should benefit from free SHS at different levels of cost, when parents of both day and boarding school students pay taxes. This does not assure equity. Kenya, which has been the key reference point for justifying the free SHS implementation, never extended free education to boarding schools. Neither did they adopt the double-track system. Kenya's was a free day secondary education program. Cost of boarding is borne by parents.
Some stakeholders believed the quality of education has been compromised.
We speak for persons with disability. Free SHS, 1 year of implementation. We went around all the schools. The textbooks that were distributed, none were in accessible formats for visually impaired students. You are talking of double track. You are looking at recruiting 8,000 teachers. Have you considered resource teachers? Where are you going to get them? Which track are you putting the persons with special learning?
My question is, if we are dealing with the numbers as we have now, have we averted our minds to 3-4 years time? Are we doing fifth track or sixth track in the universities?
It appears as though the real reason for pushing this one without a blueprint is just to drive a large number of people into the school system without adequate preparation, and we're insisting on that. There was no blueprint. We kept asking for, what is the blueprint? How are you going to run this program? That whole concept of, we'll start it, when we encounter the problems, we'll resolve them, is so bad that we still, as we sit here, we can't anticipate the next problem that we are going to have.